All right, my fellow agents. So my plan for today was to bring you like a news update going over some of the questions you've sent the channel about the PTS, but I don't know if you can tell. I am insanely sick right now. Unfortunately, I have COVID. I mean, I'm totally fine, except I completely sound like Therefore, today there is going to be a slight change to the programming schedule. I'm going to be highlighting some of my favorite builds to use during the Golden Bullet Global event. For those of you that may not know, it does return next Tuesday, January 23rd. So what you're going to see today are just a few of my favorite builds that I have posted at the channel previously. I'm just going to kind of splice them all together. I hope you enjoy it, but that's really all I got today, my fellow agents. Hopefully I will be back on my feet tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'm sure I will, but yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon, as long as I have a voice. Thanks again, everyone. The first thing I want to mention as we begin, and this comment is really meant for new and returning players, but always remember that this is just a template, and when it comes to the Golden Bullet event, there are so many different ways to run a build. The most important thing is to take your time and make a build your own, and as always, we're going to start with the specialization. Now, I'm using Gunner, and I'm using that for a few main reasons. First of all, you get that extra armor on kill. It gives you a reload speed and a rate of fire increase. You also have the ability to use the Banshee Pulse if you want, and always remember to always have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. The other day I posted a video around the Kingbreaker. I forgot to activate the assault rifle, and because I did that, I was missing out on 15% weapon damage, so always make sure you take your time, my friends, and activate the weapons you're using. My primary weapon for this build is the Apartment SMG. It has the talent perfectly measured. The top half of the magazine has 20% rate of fire and minus 27% weapon damage. The bottom half of the magazine is minus 20% rate of fire and 33% total weapon damage. Now, this is a Dark Zone exclusive, but you can get it from named caches and I believe legacy caches as well. And because we have a global event going on right now, it is the perfect time to try to get this weapon. You can earn stars by caches, and hopefully you get lucky and pick this thing up. Now, in the meantime, if you do not have this, you can really use any SMG of your choice with the talent measured. That will still get the job done. For my secondary, I'm using the Scorpio, but again, if you don't have this, any shotgun is fine. It's really up to you. Now, moving on to the gear itself, you can see I'm using 4 Hunter's Fury, 1 Sokolov, and the Memento backpack. Starting off with the mask, it's the first piece of Hunter's Fury, and we're using all 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. And they are as follows. You have a 2-piece, which is 15% shotgun and SMG damage, 3 pieces, 20% armor on kill and 100% health on kill, 4 pieces Apex Predator. Now, for those of you that are just getting used to run and gun builds, this is definitely the gear set you want to use because enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. And basically what that means is when you're taking out a group of NPCs, when you take out one, the other ones just flop around like a fish. It makes your job that much easier. Now, for my chest piece, it's the 1 piece of Sokolov. And with that equipped, I'm getting that 10% SMG damage bonus. Now, I'm using the talent Obliterate, where critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 25 times. Another great option is Intimidate. And like I said earlier, agents, try out different variations of the build, see which one you like more, make your decision at that point. Moving on to the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, they are the 3 remaining pieces of the Hunter's Fury gear set, and on all of these pieces of gear, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Finally, we make our way to the backpack, and you can see I'm using the Memento, one of the best exotics in the game without a doubt, especially for a run and gun type of build. Now, if you do not have this, I recommend using a 2nd piece of Sokolov, because that's going to give you that extra 15% crit hit damage bonus, and you also want to use the talent Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you're going to gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. On that note, I'm going to leave you with a little gameplay footage. However, I want to once again thank you all for your incredible support of this channel and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Hostile control point nearby. Hostile assembling a golden bullet. Golden bullet received. Detecting contacts.
Now for my primary, as I mentioned earlier, I do have the Kingbreaker, and in the meantime, if you do not have this, any long-barreled weapon you want to use is fine. It could be another assault rifle, it could be an SMG, it could be a shotgun, whatever combination you want to use is totally good, especially when this event is active. However, the reason I recommend using the Kingbreaker is because it has the talent Perfect Flatline, which amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies, and remember, every single enemy we target is going to be pulsed in this game when that pointer is equipped, and now my secondary is an ACS-12 with a regular talent Flatline. And on a side note, my fellow agents, if you have not as yet used an automatic shotgun during the Golden Bullet Global event, I need you to put something like this together. I promise you, you will not regret it. It is a ton of fun to use. Now moving on to the gear itself. You can see I'm using 3 Striker, 1 Uzina, 1 Brazos, and the Ninja Bike backpack, which is where we're going to start. Now I know most of you know exactly how this backpack works, and while you may be missing out on a stronger backpack talent, what I like about this thing is that it allows you to put together certain builds that would be impossible to do otherwise because of its talent Resourceful, which slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set's bonus, can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. Now moving on to the mask, you can see it is the first of 3 pieces of the Striker gear set, but again, because we are wearing the Ninja Bike, we get all 4 gear set bonuses, 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, and 4 pieces Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times, and on every single one of these pieces, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now we make our way to the body armor, and as you can see, it is the named Uzina body armor, the closer. We get that 5% total armor, 10% armor on kill, and it has the talent Perfect Spotter, which amplifies total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. And remember, because we are using the linked laser pointer, every single enemy we target is going to be pulsed, which means that talent is going to be running non-stop. We make our way to the holster. It's the Picaro's holster, the 1 piece of Brazos. And once again, because of the Ninja Bike being equipped, we do get 2 of those brand set bonuses. That gives us an extra skill tier. You can see this has maxed out core armor and 15% weapon damage as well, which in my opinion makes this one of the best holsters in the game. Last but not least, we have the knee pads and the gloves. They are the final 2 pieces of the Striker gear set. And as I mentioned earlier, I am trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now, as far as my skills are concerned, I'm using my 2 favorite in the game. They are the Crusader Shield, just in case things get sideways, and the Assault Drone, because it's a great distraction to NPC. It puts out damage as well. And remember, because we're using Perfect Spotter, we are going to be getting an additional 20% skill damage bonus on top of the 20% weapon damage bonus to pulsed enemies. That will be every single enemy we target. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you have questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.